want to get married. We want to get married. So there's a book I'm writing. I need to finish this book. There's a book I'm writing. It's called Don't Get Married. Kuna kitabu naandikwa inasema Don't Get Married. That's the title of the book. It says do not get married. Don't get married. And so the first time it's born out of a sermon series that I preached I taught in our audacious influencers in our church, and it's born out of that sermon series. And when we put it out and we put out flyers, the first time I think we did actual flyers za karatasi, and nilikuwa kwa petrol station, nilikuwa na fuel gari. And then I'm talking to this attendant, and then flyers zilikuwa tu kwa hiyo passenger seat. And so umse akaniuliza, by the way hiyo ni nini, hebu let me see. So nikampatia. So he looks at it, he says don't get married. Nikamwambia yes, he says don't get married. And then hiyo picha nimepigwa when the ring inaonekana. So akaniuliza, but si wewe ndio huyu mwenye wako kwa posta? Nikamwambia yeye ni mimi. Anauliza, wewe unaambia watu wasioe aje maana wewe umeoa? Nikamwambia there's a reason for that. If you want to know, welcome for the service. So it's rather interesting that naeza ambia watu don't get married when I am married myself. Your flyer says, the flyer that you put out says marriage a beautiful thing. And let's start from that. Marriage is actually a beautiful thing. Marriage ni poa. Usidanganywe na mtu. Sawa? Marriage ni poa. Usidanganywe na mtu. Unajua watu wanaingia kwa marriage, wanakuwa na mashida zao, alafu wanasema marriage ni mbaya. Sasa marriage haitakuwa mbaya kwa kila mtu kwa sababu bwana yako ama bibi yako ni mbaya. Mtu akikuambia hivyo unafaa kumwambia speak for yourself. Angalia jirani, mwambie speak for yourself. Is simply because gari imefanya accident, nani ameacha kupanda mat kwa sababu kuna mat kwa mtaa yako yenye imefanya accident? Si bado unapanda mat? So mtu hafai kusema marriage ni mbaya kwa sababu they have a bad experience in marriage. Marriage is a good thing. Marriage is a good thing. The Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Marriage is a good thing. If marriage was not a good thing, God would not have created it, because God is the author of marriage. He would not have started this thing that is called marriage if it wasn't a good thing. So from the onset, we need to agree that marriage is a good thing, and I encourage you, unless you have the gift of celibacy. Unless you have the gift of celibacy. Na hiyo kitu I guarantee you iko na watu wachache sana. Hiyo gift ya celibacy, hiyo yenye yani wewe hata we ni chali, lakini hata ukikaribiwa na dem, hata si kwa sababu wewe unatumianga simu nini, lakini kwa sababu umeitwa but si kuna watu wanatumia simu tu. Kwa nini naongea vitu za uongo? Si wako. They are there. Okay, sawa. Angalia jirani yako akikaa fani ama akianza kukasirika. Ukiona ameanza kukasirika, to agree kwanza that marriage is boy and girl. To agree. Hiyo ndio kitu naongelelea mimi. Si John and James. Tuko pamoja? Are we together? Ebu kam. Kuja tu. Naweza kwa nikikuitia do. Ebu simama hapa. Nacheka nini? Kwani mnajua kitu yenye nataka kufanya? Mnacheka nini sasa? Mnacheka nini? One of the MCs, come. Acha nikutumie. We need to agree. Simama tu hapa. Unaitwa? Fidel. Na MC wetu. Robot. Okay. Imagine Fidel anakatia robot. We imagine, inaimaginika? Ati Fidel anajaribu kuingisha robot box. Ati kuna ndevu poa. Imagine, we number one, lazima to agree that marriage is between a man and a woman. To agree hapo. See, hii ni deliverance. Na msimamo ya deliverance nafikiri naijua. Msimamo ya deliverance ni marriage ni between a man and a woman. Sasa hii story ya huu msee anakatia huu msee haiwezi. Hata naturally haiwezi. To agree. Thank you. To agree that juu wataanza kuambia na nini ati wewe unapenda miguu. Unapendaje miguu za mwanaume mwenzako? Uko na shida gani? Uko wasichana wameumbwa wako na miguu ambayo inaweza pendeka. Miguu ya robot. Si mbaya. Miguu ya robot wewe mwanaume unaangalia miguu ya robot? So let's agree, number one, marriage is between who? James and Jane, James and Joyce, John and JD. Unaona? That's the marriage we are talking about. Sawa? Marriage is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. Now, the reason why I am writing this book that is called Don't Get Married, and because I'm getting this out from a whole book, I will only share one point. Mimi ni yule msee mwenye I'm a communication specialist, so nilifunzwa nikaambiwa ukienda place, especially a new place, usiwaambia kila kitu. Ukiwaambia kila kitu hawatawahi kuita tena. Waambie tu kitu kidogo ili next time waseme hakumalizia, wacha tumuite tena. Najaribu kubuka appointment ya next time. I hope the leaders wamesikia. Nitashare tu kitu moja from this book and I hope itakusaidia. Don't get married. Number one, I say in that you should not get married unless you're whole. Unless wewe ni mzima. Unless wewe uko complete. Ni Genesis 2:24. Genesis 2:24. Mtu ako na Biblia tusome Genesis 2:24. Genesis 2:24. Kuna mtu anaweza tusomea Genesis 2:24? Yes. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. So here's the thing. A man leaves his parents and is joined to a woman, and they become one flesh. So the formula of God for marriage is that 1 plus 1 is equals to, sijasema formula yenye ulifunzwa kwa primary school yako. Nimesema formula ya Mungu. Formula ya Mungu for marriage is 1 plus 1 is equals to 1. It's not equal to 2. In fact, history ya 1 plus 1 is equals to 2 ndio imeleta shida kwa marriage. Kwa sababu kama watu wameoana na wako wawili kwa marriage, that marriage will fail. People are supposed to get married and become one flesh. But tuachane na hii one flesh kando. Nikikuja next time nitakuongelesha about this one flesh. Tuongee kwa juu ya 1 plus 1. 1 is a complete number. Bwana asifiwe. Watu ambao mlianguka hesabu ni sawa, haina shida. 1 plus 1 is a complete number. It is wanaitangaze kwa hesabu. Hata mi by then nilianguka hesabu. Thank God I determine anything about my life. Hata mi nilianguka hiyo kitu. But 1 is when you say 1, it's complete. It's a complete number. So one of the things ambazo zinafanya as young people we get into marriages and marriages start having problems, or you date so many people and you never settle, you never find someone to settle down with, is this: incompleteness. You don't marry someone to complete your life. You don't marry someone to complete your life. By the way, if your intention of marriage is so that someone can complete you, you're headed the wrong direction. We don't marry so that we can be completed. We marry so that we can complement one another. So you work on yourself so that you are a complete person before you get married to another person who is complete. The formula of God is not half plus half is equals to 1. It is 1 plus 1 is equals to 1. Meaning then that the most important thing for you to work on right now is yourself. Wewe mwenyewe. The most important thing for you to work on is yourself. Because if you get into marriage and you're incomplete, then you will be looking for someone to complete you. And let me disappoint you. There is no one who has the capacity to complete a human being other than God. Muko hapa ama hiyo kunyamaza yenu ni concentration ama mnanipima? Maiki mzeki nasema nini? Cheki, usiitafuta mtu wa kucomplete. Hakuna mtu anaweza kucomplete other than God. Only God has the ability and the capacity to complete a man, not a woman. If you get into marriage with a deficiency, a certain deficiency, and Silva is here, he will tell you, if you get into marriage with a certain deficiency, hoping that if you are a man, hoping that your wife, if you are a woman, hoping that your husband will complete you, you will be very disappointed. Because they will not complete you. They can't complete you. You have to get to a point where uko 100% uko sawa kama mtu, that you are okay as a person before you start looking for someone to complete you. No human being has the qualifications to complete you. None of them. They will never complete you. They only complement you. Let me shock you. If you get into a marriage as a lazy person, the only thing that will change is that you will be called Mrs. So-and-so, but you will be lazy Mrs. So-and-so. You get married to a very hard-working man and you are a lazy woman, and say, because I've gotten married to an active man, a hardworking man, now I will be hardworking. Uongo ya shetani. Uongo ya shetani. Wewe utakuwa bibi ya mtu mvivu. Kama uoshangi nguo zako saa hii, hauna mtoto. Iwewe. Kama uoshangi nguo zako saa hii, hauna mtoto, haunyonyeshi, unaishi kwa SQ, nyumba moja, room moja, lakini unashindwa kuiosha. Hata ukiolewa na upelekwe kwa 3 bedroom, ile kitu ulibeba ukiwa haujaolewa utaitransfer, utafanya transfer ulete hapo. No human being can if you marry a visionless man, you cannot start. Unajua mnanichekeshanga sana. I meet people, they come to my office, they tell me, oh pastor, you know, this man, I have met him, he prays in tongues, he is a leader, he is a good man. Mi wakianza hivyo na kuanga nikingoja bat. So anaongea na muuliza bat, bat what? Lakini mimi ndio nashindanga kusukuma huyu mwanaume. Umeapply kazi, nini. Alafu namuuliza, wewe unataka mwanaume anakaaje? What kind of a man do you want? Naambia mimi nataka mwanaume amejituma. Alafu ananiambia, lakini si huyu tukikaa na yeye amwambia, acha nikuambie kitu moja. Ukioa mtu mwanaume visionless, you will be in your house as a woman and you will still be visionless. Why? Because you are not created to complete anyone. You are never created to complete anyone. You are created to complement someone. Did you hear what Adam said when he looked at Eve? He said, this is bone of my bone. As in, this is bone of my bone. This is flesh of my flesh. As in, nikikuangalia naona kitu yenye niko nayo. Kitu yenye natafuta. Kitu yenye nikikuangalia kuna compliment. Ni kama najiangalia kwa mira. So kama huioni saa hii, my friend, unajipatia kazi ya Mungu. Na kazi ya Mungu haina makosa na si rahisi. Kazi ya Mungu si rahisi. You cannot complete ukioa msee saa hii. Na niongee kuna watoto hapa? Kuna asioni hapa. Naona tu watu wako na ndevu na nini na mawig na mawivu. Hawezi kwa watu hii. Kuna huyo. Utasanitize tu kichwa yake. Ukiolewa msee anahanya. Ukiolewa na msee anahanya. As in, kabla muoane alikuwa anahanya. I can guarantee you as a pastor, and I don't need the gift of prophecy, hata ukioana atahanya. Ni ukweli. Kwa sababu wewe kwani wewe ndio nani ati utatuliza nini zake? Ati wewe ndio ati when he finds me he will find everything. What? Found what? Whatever it is that is not in you before marriage, you will not find it in marriage. So what am I saying? I'm saying what you need to do is to fix yourself, is to work on yourself, is to make sure that you are not getting into marriage so that you can find something in marriage. You are getting into marriage to bring into marriage. To bring into marriage. You're not getting into marriage to go and get from marriage. You're getting into marriage to bring something that you are carrying into marriage. So the most important thing for you right now is to work on yourself. Because wacha niwaambie, this generation watu wanaingia kwa marriage kutafuta zile vitu ambazo hawana. Zile vitu mimi nasikia watu wakisema sijui weather for two nini sijui nini sijui ati ukioa ati sasa utakuanga woma nini. Mimi uliza watu, kwani nyinyi ushinda mmelala? Ama bibi yako ni handbag ati ama ni wallet ati unambebanga kwa mfuko to keep you warm? Sasa niko na bibi yangu, kungekuwa baridi singekuwa nasikia baridi. Ningekuwa na freeze na nimeoa complete certificate niko nayo lakini nikitravel nitapigwa na baridi kama mtu single. Wachaneni na trivial stupid reasons za kuoa ati weather for two. Mnashinda kulala. Stupid trivial reasons. Alafu mnanini kwa Biblia ati two are better than one. Ati they keep each other warm. They keep each other warm kwani mnashindianga kulala? The things that young people have very unreasonable expectations for marriage. Unreasonable expectations for marriage that will not work and that do not work. So you find people who are broken because if something is not whole, if it is not complete, then it is deficient. Most young people are broken, completely broken, completely. Yani, mimi ni pastor wa young people. Young people are broken. I'm not talking about wenye wako huko nje, naongelelea hapa kanisani. Hapa kanisani. Young people are so broken. Dem amedate Jemo, amedate Jimmy, amedate James, amedate Benso, amedate Anto, amedate watu kaa 8. Hao watu amedate Kevo ni wabaya. Amedate Kevo. Amedate Kevo, pole Kevo kama uko hapa. Iza. Hatukuwa tunasema wewe. Na Brayo. Amedate awase wote, amepitia kwa mikono yao, wamedeal na yeye. Halafu anakaa anatulia church. Anasema sasa Mungu, mimi natafuta Bwana. Nikipata tu Bwana, hati yangu itakuwa sawa. So wewe unataka upatie Bwana yenye mse mwenye atakuoa kazi ya kucorrect. Kazi ya kurepair hati yenye Kevo, Brayo, Benso, Anto, nini. Hao wote walivunja hati ili umse unaoa akuje kutengeneza hati. Yeye ni Jehovah Jireh. Jehovah Jireh is the one who mends our hearts. Huyo ndio anatutengenezanga, ana mend hati yako. So you will find people who are broken but who want to. That is the most shocking thing. That is the most shocking thing, is that people who are broken, watu ambao wako na masaibu, mashida, matatizo, wanataka kuoa na kuolewa. So many people, they are broken. Hata anza from the setting ya family. Ukisikia stories za watu familia, single mothers, raised by a single mother, father was away, raised by an abusive father, molested when they were young, had all manner of issues, and all those issues, before you get married, you need to work on your heart. God needs to deal with those issues that you carry, because you will always be looking for something that your spouse cannot give you. Marriage is not a supermarket where you go and find everything. Ukitaka maziwa unaambiwa iko kwa ile nini. Ukitaka nini unaenda pale. Ukitaka nini unaenda pale. No. Whatever it is that you're empty of right now, it is a cue for you to first of all work on it and tell God, can you complete this part? Unajua nini? In that book I also say, don't get married if you want to get married. Ile siku unaamka hivyo unasema kai nataka kuoa, aki nikipatana na mtu mzuri saa hii mimi ni hivyo nimeoa. Don't get married. Ile siku utasikia hiyo urge imekam sana, don't get married. Because I also say, the worst time for you to go shopping for food is when you're hungry. Mtu anasikia, Ushaifunga yani ukasema leo ni mimi na God. Leo nafunga 6 to 6 prayer and fasting. Hakuna kitu, ni maji tu na kunywa. At around hapa hivi saa 8 kuna kanjawa kana kuchapa. Mpaka unapita kando ya mahindi choma, unaona inakaa chips na kuku. Yani unaona hakuna kitu, yani nikipatiwa tu hiyo mahindi choma. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu uko na njaa. The time when you're really hungry, you can eat anything. Many people have gotten married because of hunger. Mtu ako na njaa, yani hajatulia, yani ako na appetite, so anataka tu wacha niowe tu ni settle. Chances are you're going to marry wrong. I don't say you're going to marry the wrong person. No, because there is no wrong person. You're going to marry wrong. Because you will be looking to meet a need that a man cannot satisfy. Sasa ile shida iko ni kwamba yale mahitaji mengi ambayo uko nayo wewe, si mwanaume anaweza kusaidia. Most of the needs that you have, it's not a woman who can help you. Most of them. The solution is not marriage. For most of, there are people who come to I was speaking to someone last week but one, and they were telling me, nimekuwa tu, I am meeting the wrong people all the time. I meet this person, we date for a few ninis, napata hapana, it is not working. I meet another one for a few, it is not working. Like that. Unapata mtu in a year, they can even date 10 people. So ni kama kila mwezi analipwa tu mshahara mpya ya kudate mtu. 10 people, ukidate watu 10 kwa mwaka mmoja ni 2 months zenye umebreathe. The average dating span for a person inakuwa 1.2 months. I told her, you're not ready. You're not ready. Take a step back and just be quiet and tell God, there is something I seem to be looking for in men, and it is not there. Because if you date 10 people in a year, you have dated you've dated Jen, you've dated Maggie, you've dated Aggie, you've dated Abby, you have dated Simseme D, you've dated Njeri, you've dated Shiko, you've dated Nimo, you've dated Nani, you've dated all these 10 people. What is the common denominator? What is the common denominator in all of those people? Kwani hamjui common denominator ni nini? What is the common factor in all of that? Okay. James has dated 10 ladies. What is the common factor in that situation? It is James. Yeye ndio constant. Yeye ndio amedate Shiko, akaachana na Shiko. Akadate Njeri, akaachana na Njeri. Akadate Magi, akaachana na Magi. At the end of it all, lazima usimame ujiulize, ni nini mbaya na mimi? Because you're dating and 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 not settling. You are the constant in all these relationships. It means that there is something that you're looking for, and it is not in these men. It is not in these women. The number one thing that you need to do as a young person, be complete. Be complete. Wewe mwenyewe. Be complete. Be complete. If you're a woman, don't marry a man because of money. Be complete. Kuwa na pesa yako wewe mwenyewe. Hata kama inatoshanaje, mimi sijasema ukuwe na pesa mingi, nimesema ukuwe na pesa yako yenye wewe unaweza jinunulia kitu yenye wewe unataka, ambayo pesa yako inaweza kununulia. Sijasema pesa mingi, nimesema ukuwe na pesa yako. Don't marry, do not marry because you're feeling an emotional void. I am lonely. I am lonely, so I need someone to keep me company. Being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. Being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. You can be married in a house, have a wife or have a husband and still be lonely. There are very many people who are married who are very lonely. There are deficiencies that you need to sort out in yourself first before you decide, I want to get married. I want to get married. You know, surprising that some people are carrying, they are carrying wounds ambazo they go as far back as when they were teenagers. They are 30 years old now, na bado wanabeba hizo issues. Bado wanasemanga kuna kitu tu unaweza mfanyia, usikia amekuambia by the hautanitreat venye madhe alikuwa ananitreat. Mtu wako miaka 32, mama yake hata probably asha pass, hayuko, lakini ile aliumizwa na huyo mama, anafikiria sasa nikioa ati bibi yangu sasa yeye ndio atakam, yeye ndio atanituliza moyo, yeye ndio atanini nini. The funny thing that happens is that if you are like that, you will end up marrying someone who will continue doing the same thing that your abuser used to do. So the most important thing right now is to work on yourself, work on your heart, work on the condition of your heart. We uko aje? Heart yako iko aje? How is your heart? How is your heart? How is your heart? If you are given your own heart, would you accept it? Juu tunaoa na kwa ile space ya marriage unapeleka hatred, unapeleka bitterness, unapeleka lust, unapeleka anger, unapeleka all manner of things, and then tunafika hapo tunaanza kusema hii kitu haifanyi kazi. Hii kitu haifanyi kazi. Hapana, si ati haifanyi kazi, uliingia pale kama uko broken. Na sasa bibi yako lazima, bwana yako sasa lazima akuput together. Unampatia kazi ngumu sana. Unapatia huyo chali kazi ngumu sana. Unapatia. So you hear ladies saying, he doesn't behave like my father, or he behaves like my father. Uni mtu anafaa kukaa kando kwanza, adil na issues za baba yake kwanza, alafu atokee akiwa ready sasa, when the heart is ready to get married. Let me finish. Time yangu nika iko all kuisha, but let me finish. There's a very interesting story in the Bible of a Samaritan woman. This Samaritan woman in John chapter 4 anaenda kutafuta maji. She goes to fetch water at Jacob's well, and she finds Jesus seated there. And Jesus starts talking to her about water. Give me water. Na ukifuata, they have this long conversation. Give me water. I cannot give you water. You're a Samaritan. I am a Jew. We are not even supposed to be talking to each other. Why are you asking me for water? Okay, fine, I will give you water. You don't even have something to draw the water with. How are you going to draw the water if I give you the water? You know, go bring your husband, nini, go bring your husband, nini, I am not married, blah, blah, blah. At the end of this conversation, if you read John chapter 4 yote, no one takes water. In fact, this woman does not go back with water. In fact, she does not even go back with a water pot. She doesn't. She goes back. Jesus does not take the water. The woman does not take the water. But John chapter 4 yote ni ya maji. Give me water. I will not give you water. Blah, blah, blah. It's about water. But no one takes water in John chapter 4. When the disciples come to Jesus and they have brought him food, and they tell him, Master, we knew you were hungry, we've brought you food. Jesus tells them, I don't need your food. I have food that you know not of. So Jesus doesn't take water. So Jesus doesn't take the food, the whole of this chapter, but they keep talking about water. And I found out something very interesting. I found out this. I found out that this woman did not need water. She wasn't looking for water. What she needed was God to sort her out and fill a void that she had, which she thought could be filled by men, by all these other things. And I realized that when Jesus is talking to this woman, he's talking to her about water, and we think they are talking about water. But what Jesus is trying to tell her is that I can see what you need. You think you're talking to a potential husband when you're talking to me, but it is not a man that you need. The void that is in you cannot be filled by a man. It can only be filled if I give you living water, and I am the living water. Let me ask you a question. Is it possible that you're looking to get married because you have a void that you feel like you want to fill? Is it possible? Because let me tell you, many times when your stomach says you're hungry, you're really not hungry. You're thirsty. So many times when you're hungry, if you take water, all of a sudden you are no longer hungry, because your system, the system in you, the same signal that is sent out to say I am hungry is the same signal that is sent to say I need water. And most of the time we want to fill the void in our hearts, in our lives, with a man or a woman. And the truth is, it is not possible. The deficiency, the void, can only be filled by the creator of you. The person who created you is the one who can complete you, so that when you're getting married, you are one and she is one, and you're not looking for her to give you anything. It's okay for you to be affirmed. It's okay for you to find someone who affirms you. 5 languages of love: affirmation, touch, physical touch, nini ingine? Hamjui love languages? Quality time. Nini ingine? Gifts. Mabaki moja. It's okay for all these things to happen to you, but are you okay if you're not affirmed? Are you fine? Can you affirm yourself? Can you affirm yourself and tell yourself you are okay, you are doing fine? Can you encourage yourself? Can you give yourself? Can you say, since I found you, niko na joy. What if she leaves? Will you still have joy? Will you still be happy? Because if it is being brought by a person, what if she goes? Or what if he goes? They will go with it. So time yangu imeisha. But for today, just for today, if there is anything I want you to take home, it's just to go home asking yourself, am I complete enough so that I can invite someone else in my life? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. Am I complete so that I can invite someone else into my life? Not someone to start bandaging my heart, but someone to experience my kindness, someone to experience my joy, someone to experience my brilliant mind. Am I complete so that I can be able to invite someone else in my life. If you are not complete, do not get married. Si nimemaliza? Nimemaliza. I believe time yangu imeisha. If you have questions. Maswali zikaa, mnajua mko na maswali. Amen.
Okay, langu si swali, in addition to what I've said. From the book of 48 Laws of Power, inasema kwamba when you associate yourself with the unlucky, you become unlucky. And then kuna kitu umesema about food, interpretation. Ina happen na sisi wanadamu. Ukihisi njaa haimaanishi ukisikia tuseme mahindi